you, Paulo. Despite the several advantages and usefulness of sensor network in modern day technology, an attack such as CB through a CB node, so an attack such as CB attack through a CB node can have a great adverse effect on wireless sensor networks. But before I talk on this effect, I would like to point out the vulnerabilities in wireless sensor networks, those weaknesses that can make it susceptible to an attack such as CB. What are these vulnerabilities? It includes information exchange through the interface, broadcast. The medium of communication is broadcast because in wireless sensor network, it's being broadcast wirelessly, data achieved wirelessly, so it's making it very easier for an attacker to capture the packet, thereby they can gather necessary information required to create a CB node. Because in the sense of what happens is that they need to forge an identity. So all this they can gather the information from the packet transmitted through the interface. Another vulnerability is the mode of deployment. They deploy it remotely, they monitor it, deploy it. So there is no physical security towards securing a wireless sensor network. So an intruder can just go into a wireless sensor network and obtain the necessary information needed to create a CB node. Another vulnerability I want to talk about is the simple RGA configuration. The CB node itself is being made essentially to make it simple so that it can be easily deployed. That's one of the aim or goal of installing a wireless sensor network. So this weakness make it easier for an attacker because it is difficult for people to put up advanced technique to actually detect the attack. So in a wireless sensor network, to put on an advanced technique such as encryption technique is much difficult because of the simplicity in its hardware. So these are just the vulnerability in wireless sensor that make it easier for an attacker to attack a sensor network. So what are these effects? This effect, one of the effects is it can disrupt routing. What I mean by this, when a wireless sensor network, like the diagram shown below, is being used to transfer data, to route that packet from one node to the other, a CB node, because it has the ability of creating other identity, it can forge an identity in the network so that node A in this case, which is a real node, node C in this case is a CB node, but node B is just a forged identity of the network. So node A is saying node B as a real node. So an attempt to route the packet through node B to node G will be defeated in this circumstance. Another effect can have is when a wireless sensor is being used in a voting technique, it can actually use to stop ballot boxes. For example, when we deploy a sensor node in different locations to transmit information about a voting result in a particular area, through the creation of several other nodes with different identity, they can send multiple results from that same simple location because the simple node will just the CB attacker is able to create several identity. So the receiver at the other end will not know that the result is still coming from the same CB node because it's coming with different identity. Another effect it can have is it can actually defeat redundancy mechanism. It's usually by we are using a wireless sensor network to create a form of redundancy that is a backup of data. And attempt to back up our data on node B in this case, which is a forward ID, and on node C will be defeated because it's still the same as saying putting the data on the same node because node B and node C they are the same node, just with different identity. Another effect you can have on wireless sensor network is it can actually destroy distributed storage systems, pretty similar to our design mapping. It's where I want to spread our data across several nodes, and attempt to do that with node B and node C will still fail. We will still defeat the actual aim of distributing storage system. So as you can see that a CB attack through a CB node can have several effects on wireless sensor network. It is therefore important for us to be able to detect this attack. So next here we'll just talk about some of the techniques that can be used in detecting CB attack in wireless sensor network.
Hi, my name is Nazar Shalbak. I'll be talking to you about some of the detection methods that we propose to defend against CB attacks. One such technique is the resource testing. This resource testing was proposed by Deutsche, and it's based on the idea that each entity in the network has a certain limit of processing power, and this technique is trying to take advantage of that. So this technique was adopted in wireless sensor networks in the idea using a challenge response scheme. So if we take an example of a network here, we have node 1, which will be the verifier, which will start off the challenge to other nodes. The idea of a challenge is a simple task that is sent into each node that has to process and then send a reply. Each node has a set limit of processing power. So the time threshold will be set based on that processing power and the time it will take to respond. Normal nodes will only have one task to respond to, so they will respond in time. A Sybil attack, on the other hand, will have several tasks that it has to deal with, which means it will take longer to send a reply, which is the simple idea of how to use this method. Another approach to use resource testing by using a different kind of resource. A group of researchers proposed using radio channel as the resource. The idea with this method is that